Today I'm going to break down how I would invest $1,000 USD into the crypto market if I was just now entering it. But first, as you can see, the channel is really growing. I'm really glad that you've found some value out of the channel and the videos. So please, if you enjoy this video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so this video is actually going to be the start of a new series almost. So I'm going to go through my portfolio picks, how I would build a new portfolio, and then also each month we're going to be adding a little bit of money to the portfolio. I'm not quite sure of how much. Maybe it's going to be $200, maybe it's going to be more. So at the end of each month we're going to go through a recap and go over the portfolio. We're going to discuss any changes, anything being reduced or anything being added, and we're also going to see how much we can grow a small portfolio in this 2021 bull run. I do truly believe that we're still really early to this whole thing. I think that there's still plenty of room to grow, so I wouldn't be discouraged if you're just now entering the market. Just consider yourself lucky because you're still a lot earlier than a lot of people. And even if you're already invested in crypto, this series should still be interesting considering you get to see how I would invest something, and then you can also comment down below and we'll make adjustments based on the comments and based on what you guys think the portfolio should shape out to be. So this is going to be almost a collaborative effort between you guys and myself. Obviously, I'll take the first stab and I'll get us started. So we're going to go through exactly how I would invest that 1K. Now just note, this is all real crypto in my real portfolio. I'm not actually buying the crypto each month. I'm just recording this crypto in a separate blockfolio, and any crypto that I add to this new blockfolio, I'm going to act as if I'm buying it on that day. That means any profits that I actually take from this portfolio will be actual profits taken from my real portfolio. That being said though, it's not going to represent the exact same values in my portfolio. My portfolio specifically is adjusted for my risk and not necessarily for someone new coming into crypto. So I'd make sure that with anything, you're assessing your own risk and you're making changes on your portfolio based on your risk tolerance. So the first crypto should come of no surprise. Bitcoin is the obvious choice to add to the portfolio. What you might notice is that it's a small amount. Out of $1,000, I'm only allocating 5% to Bitcoin. I'd say that the majority of the reason is Bitcoin has already moved up to $42,000. And now it's just cooling off at 38K. We obviously want a Bitcoin position, so we'll be buying a little bit of Bitcoin each chance that we can get. I definitely believe that Bitcoin is going to grow more, but I think there's more growth potential in some alts. Here's my thought. BTC is digital gold. It should probably be allocated in your portfolio as such. Gold should be roughly about 1% to 5% of your portfolio. Now keep in mind, in my actual portfolio, Bitcoin represents 25%. Now a good reason for that is because I was buying Bitcoin at 3K after the massive crash. So obviously those gains have compounded and have taken over that 25% spot. Bitcoin will no doubt hit 150K, and it's possibly even going to hit higher this bull run. But when you look at the growth potential and the relatively low risk of other alt projects, there are far better options in my opinion to make considerable gains in 2021. Bitcoin is a scarce asset and it has plenty of price potential. I put a video out on Bitcoin's price potential specifically. I'm a big Bitcoin bull and my estimates have actually been higher than a lot of other people's. Bitcoin is definitely going to be something that we're going to look more into, especially if we get a good entry point. So some months we could see ourselves putting a little bit more into Bitcoin just because the prices dip. The general rule of making money, buy low and sell high. I absolutely think that everyone should have at least a little bit of Bitcoin. Now if you want it to be super safe, you could definitely increase the amount of Bitcoin that you hold in your portfolio. The next token that we're adding is Ethereum. Ethereum probably has the best growth to risk ratio in this list. Some alts have a massive chance to blow out ETH's growth in 2021. But for the most part, if you've missed the boat on BTC, ETH is definitely your second chance. The system has a huge amount of developers and tons of people are using the ERC20 tokens to develop their own projects. The more tokens being minted and the more ETH being staked increases scarcity of the ETH token. Some analysts are even throwing around numbers of 20K to 75K. I personally think that the number is more like 10 to 20K, but that still is nothing to sneeze at. The growth of ETH this year has almost been identical to how Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $20,000. Now I know they're two different projects, two different tokenomics, two different capabilities and opportunities, but still, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. I really do believe that ETH is going to be the big wealth driver of this bull run. Consider this, ETH hasn't even hit all-time highs yet. Bitcoin's already blew past its all-time high of $19,000 that it hit in 2017. ETH has still not touched its all-time high in over 3 years. So considering that, ETH seems extremely undervalued currently. So right now we're going to be allocating 20% to ETH, giving us a little under 1.6 Ether. And we purchased this when ETH was about $1,288 USD. The next token on the list we've talked about is XLM. XLM has massive growth potential. I just did a video breaking down some of the market cap potential of XLM. XLM is changing how we do payments and is providing financial services to the traditionally unbanked. If you follow big money and investors, rich countries like China are really investing heavily now with millions of unbanked being onboarded onto the financial system and all of a sudden having access to massive amounts of capital. This will poise Africa to be one of the fastest economically growing continents in the world, and probably for the next 10 years. A lot of investors are moving into Africa, and as the financial structure grows there, there's definitely going to be a significant amount of return for those investors. XLM was created by Jed McCaleb, who also created XRP. Now you may be wondering, if I'm such an XRP bull, why did I put XLM in this portfolio and not XRP? The reality is, the SEC case is risky, no matter how you cut it. For somebody just dipping their feet in the crypto market, having to deal with some of the FUD is really hard. So that's why I would stay away from something that would mentally drain you in terms of seeing it go down and you not knowing exactly when it's going to go up. I of course hold a lot of XRP, but that's because I trust where it's going. And I'm also willing to take that risk if it does end up failing. I'm just finishing up my new XRP video and it should be out Monday, so go ahead and subscribe for that. Recently, XLM announced some massive partnerships. Most notably, the Stellar Network is going to be creating the Ukraine's digital asset infrastructure and their CBDC. Stellar, in my mind, is one of the closest things to a sure thing that you can get. And it's definitely shown that by the adoption it's picked up over the last couple of years. This is why 10% of the portfolio is going to be XLM, a little more than 345 XLM. And we purchased this at 29 cents. I did an entire XLM video, so I'd recommend you go check that out after you're done watching this video. Polkadot is a blockchain a lot like Ethereum in terms of that it's a system that people can build on top of. So often crypto projects can't really operate with one another. The Polkadot system allows for other blockchains to work together without compromising any data being secured on any of the blockchains. I almost think of it as the Oracle of blockchains, especially as businesses start using private blockchains and they need to communicate with other private blockchains or public blockchains. Polkadot's going to be the best bridge for something like that. The applications of DOT are going to be massive in terms of the private sector, education, and healthcare. Think about how hospitals or banks handle customer records, or educational institutions. Imagine if that was all stored on private blockchain, and other blockchains could communicate to those private blockchains without seeing any of that private data. Blockchains being integrated in the private sector are eventually going to have to communicate with other blockchains. So with Polkadot bringing interoperability to the crypto space, I definitely think that DOT has massive growth potential in 2021. So for our portfolio, we bought just over 21.76 DOT and we paid $9.19 each DOT. Now we've allocated the same amount in DOT that we did in ETH. If you want a little less risk, I suppose you could go with ETH, but I think both projects are going to be pretty stable, especially considering DOT's growth over the last little while and its hold on the market cap. Just note that you could also stake your ETH for 12% APY on Kraken. If you keep adding DOT, it's possible that this is going to have a great impact on your passive income in the future. But I'm no financial advisor, so do your own research. So definitely consider adding DOT to your portfolio if you haven't already. Now our next and probably the most allocation to one single token is going to be Cardano. Cardano is yet another smart contract blockchain, so it's in the same realm as ETH and DOT. ADA also works on proof of stakes, so staked ADA in pools completes smart contracts on the blockchain. ADA's TPS is higher than ETH and its transaction fees are lower, which is huge when we're talking about dApps and decentralized exchanges. ADA has massive promise in the future, and out of the smart contract blockchains that I have in my portfolio, I'm easily the most bullish on ADA. I've talked about Cardano before on this channel, and I really like Charles Hoskinson, the creator of Cardano. The Cardano system is updated by an academic peer-reviewed process. This helps maintain the integrity of the system, and this also makes sure to maintain the direction of the best ecosystem possible for the blockchain. ADA has great potential, even at its current price. It rose recently with the other cryptos, and that obviously makes the token a little less appealing, but the possibilities from here are still pretty massive. A 10x from here is still in the big realm of possibility. So for me, ADA has to be included in this portfolio. I am putting 30% of my allocation to ADA, which gives us 979 ADA for the portfolio. The next blockchain is VeChain. VeChain is going to be an industry giant in the future. This blockchain is going to create such an impact on our supply chain, it's going to make Amazon weak in the knees. VeChain is a blockchain used to enhance our supply chain and help verify the authenticity of a product or the product's production. A blockchain like this has a lot of applications in modern industry. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about vaccines. I wonder why. What if you had a blockchain that could verify the integrity of that vaccine? Make sure that the storage conditions were right the entire time, the temperature was met, and consolidate all the relevant information on how that vaccine was made. That's exactly what the blockchain VeChain does. VeChain has so many applications in a wide spread of industries, and I personally almost view VeChain as the AWS of the blockchain world. VET is going to be worth a lot more than what it currently is. VET is also one of the lowest market caps on this portfolio, and I do really think that 100x for VET is still in the realm of possibilities in terms of growth. We may allocate some deposits to riskier cryptos in the future, but for now we're just going to build a base and build a spread of good blockchains. So we've roughly bought 1,873 VET, and this is going to be about 5% of our total portfolio. We paid about 2.6 cents per VET. Next up on the list is Zil with Zilliqa. Zilliqa is a very interesting system and it has a lot of hopes in the future. I personally see Zilliqa as a sleeping giant, something that'll probably do well in this bull run, but will likely be a massive industry giant in the future, especially as more adoption comes its way. We've already seen Singapore have massive adoption in terms of Zilliqa and the Zilliqa blockchain. Zilliqa is another smart contract blockchain. The difference with this blockchain is the TPS is high and has sharding enabled, which allows it to be much more scalable than Ethereum. This could be very appealing when it comes to making dApps and DeFi products. I recently had to use Uniswap for a specific token. The gas fee alone was $16 USD. In no way is this viable, which is obviously why we have ETH 2.0 coming out, but we still have to wait until 2022 for that. So Zilliqa is already doing what ETH wants to do, which is definitely very attractive for developers that want to migrate to a system which is actively able to handle the load that could come in 2021. Zilliqa is the smallest market cap of the portfolio, which means that it could net higher gains than any of the cryptos that we have here. In this portfolio, we're definitely going to try to build a good Zilliqa position. So over time, we're probably going to be putting a little bit more money into Zilliqa. Right now, we're going to start Zilliqa off at 5% of the portfolio just to get it in there and to get a nice spread of good tokens. Now keep in mind, if you're a little bit more risk adverse, I'd probably go a little bit more into Zilliqa. So for this portfolio, we purchased 686 Zilliqa and we paid 7.2 cents each Zil. Our last token is the Cell token. The Cell token is an ERC20 token used as a loyalty reward for the Celsius Network app. Celsius Network is an app that pays you interest on all the crypto that you deposit. From what I've seen, Celsius beats almost every other provider, including Crypto.com. I'll leave a referral code down in the description. You can receive $20 BTC when you sign up for Celsius and deposit $200 worth of cryptocurrency. Sorry to my US viewers, the app's only available in certain states. The Cell token is something that I've talked about before. If you have more Cell, you can earn more Cell in your Cell account. Additionally, if you earn interest in Cell, so if you earn BTC interest in Celsius token, you'll receive a higher APY. Now I first bought Cell at 68 cents, then again at 89, then at $1.12, and then again recently at $6. My dollar cost average is around $1.30. So you can see that Celsius has been a huge growth in my portfolio. And it's not really by accident, it's by clever design. The Cell token is going to increase in price based on how it works and based on the design of the application. If you think about it, the more people earning Celsius as a reward, the more Celsius has to be bought on the open market to pay out those rewards. And usually those rewards are going to people that are hodling their cryptocurrency. So they're not really spending their token. They're not trading it. There's not really much volatility, and I'd probably be willing to wager in the last bear market, Celsius did fantastic. So I think even in bear cycles, I think Celsius is going to be one of those rare cryptocurrencies that are going to perform regardless of the atmosphere. As long as people are learning about crypto, then learning about the Celsius app, then learning that they can earn more by earning Cell, more people are going to earn Cell, which increases the price of Cell. So really this whole thing comes down to clever design. So for our portfolio, we've purchased 9.7 Cell and we paid $5.13 USD each. And this is going to make up roughly 5% of our portfolio. Okay, so that's it. That's all $1,000. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful in you deciding how to build your portfolio if you're just getting started. And I hope this was still interesting for the people that already have portfolios and have a lot of crypto. Just note that I don't have a lot of crypto and I expect that a lot of people just entering the space don't have a lot of crypto. So it's nice to give people a little bit of a nudge in a direction. And keep in mind, there's nothing wrong with buying all ETH or buying all Bitcoin for now until you learn about the other projects. I always recommend that you should do your own research. Now there's that common saying of don't invest in what you don't understand, but I don't exactly believe in that. I would change that saying to don't invest too much that you're going to be upset to lose. in things that you don't understand. Sometimes it is good to take a shot in the dark on something that you don't understand, because it could be the next big thing. Nobody thought that a website selling books was going to be the massive giant that it is today, but look at Amazon. If you have any suggestions on how we should take this portfolio, please comment down below. I want this to be more of like an interactive thing where we adjust a portfolio together. So definitely, if you have either alts to look into or suggestions of things that we should allocate a little bit more, go ahead and comment down below. We can have discussions and we'll make decisions ultimately in those comments. I'm thinking of putting out a video roughly once a month, just going over where the portfolio is, going over the growth, and we can see how it's progressing through the bull run. That way we get little snapshots throughout the time. So each video is going to be a succession of this specific portfolio. So we're going to keep this going throughout 2021. We're even going to take our profits through the bull market, and then maybe even we'll see how we do in the bear market if we continue on this series, if it has enough traction, if we want to continue it on, or if we just stop it after the bull run. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see how this video goes. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you wanted to watch any analysis on any of the coins that I've discussed today, go ahead and click on the playlist somewhere on the screen. It's going to take you to a playlist of all my coin analysis that I've done so far. Don't forget to share, like, and comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hodling.